What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and I'm joined by my wife, Christy, and she is here, really, to give her impressions on Pokemon Legends ZA. We got the game, got it on Switch 2. That's probably an important thing, and I'll be sure to ask you some questions on the Switch 2's performance. But I don't like to call things reviews unless you actually go through, like, the whole thing. Although we've called some of your simulator games reviews. You've played, actually, a very good amount of time so far in it. So I guess to start off, just start going through some of your kind of base stats. I know you don't really time yourself. I would say you probably played 25 plus hours, but where are you? What's levels your Pokemon? How much of the game do you think you actually did?
Um, for the levels of my Pokemon, I feel like that's kind of hard because I switch through them, so they're all different levels, but they're roughly between 35 to 53. I'm level 32, I believe. I'm a letter C on my ranking, so moving up. And I think I'm near the end of the game, but not quite there yet. I haven't beaten it yet, but
But you're kind of a completionist, so it's a good kind of length of you've been trying to do pretty much everything, and you're not done. So it's probably, I mean, I think there's estimates out there of 40, 50, 60 hours, if you want to kind of complete everything. So I guess, well, generally, what's your thoughts on it so far?
I've put a good amount of hours into it. I definitely think you can make it a long game if you go around and actually catch all the Pokemon and do all of the side missions and everything. In terms of impression, I feel like it's as good as any Pokemon game. I believe it reminds me a lot of Sword and Shield, the one where you could go around different cities and stuff, and you could actually walk around not in a 2D dimensional world. Although they do keep one thing that annoys me in every Pokemon game, and that it's you can't jump. So there's little cliffs and things, and you can't just jump over them. You have to go all the way around, which I guess is holding true to the old classic where it used to be on the flat surface, and you'd have to go around the little lines and everything. But that part drives me nuts. In terms of everything else, though, it plays the same. It's a very similar to that, and also Arceus or Arceus, whichever way you pronounce it. I'm going to pronounce it Arceus.
Now, there's like a growing trend of people, because obviously a lot of the newer age games are like, which one do you like? The style of like you're being able to get hit and it's more you can move around with the Pokemon, or do you like the more like it's literally turn based is the normal style?
I prefer this style way more, but
Wow.
in general, I'm a.
And you think this is the best way of doing that they've done so far?
I think so. Well, I'm a RPG open world game person anyway. I like games like Witcher and Dragon Age and things like that. So for me, this fits my play style way more than original Pokemon games. I like the original Pokemon games, but eventually they do kind of drag on where it's the same thing and it's boring. This one kind of adds a dimension where you actually get attacked by things and you can play around and you can run around and you can throw your Pokemon to walk with you, and there's things to like shoot down while you have your Pokemon out, which is a lot of fun. My favorite is Charizard, so of course I've been going this entire time with Charizard, just walking around, which is a lot of fun. So it kind of adds like that kind of character where you can have your Pokemon with you, and it kind of makes you want to have them more because you can actually pull them out of their vaults and walk around with you.
What do you think about the map? Was a main thing, people, because it, like you mentioned, other games it's multiple regions most times. This game you're locked to that circular. So I've like watched her. She's told me when things evolve, and I like to watch the evolve. So I've seen it, but I haven't actually been able to like feel it. But what do you think about, I guess, like the size? Do you think it's too much in the area? You think like, I guess, just what in the size overall?
I definitely think it's too small in terms of the map. There's a lot of things you can do in the map. It's very three-dimensional. You can go on rooftops and jump across rooftops. You can go in the sewers. You can go down by the river. So it's like an interactive map, but it's small. It's still very small. And once you go around it one time, honestly, then you've kind of seen it all. So in that, it's very repetitive because it is a very small map.
Yeah. What about, I mentioned in the beginning, so Switch 2, you can get it on Switch 1 or Switch 2. One of the main things people talk about, obviously, with Game Freak is their inability to make a nice running. The Switch can be pushed normally for games that really try, but most Pokemon games are not very good at optimizing it. So performance-wise, we've only played Mario Kart, right? And we played this. So how do you think it runs? How do you think it looks? Is it like acceptable for a brand new system, by the way, right?
I think it's getting there.
They're on the right track.
There was a lot of pauses, and sometimes when you're battling something with a lot of, like, when they mega evolve and you're battling something and it starts, doing its special moves and stuff, yeah, it'll start to stutter, and then you'll shoot out a move, but then it'll kind of stop for a second where I get blasted. And I'm an angry gamer, so when I get blasted, even though I definitely push the buttons, I get really irritated. So that definitely ticked me off a couple times. It definitely has a stutter part, but overall I feel like it was pretty smooth, mainly besides when it would get a lot of graphics with the mega evolutions and stuff, and then when a lot of stuff would be introduced and you have another person who's also helping you fight this thing, then it's like it got too much, and then it would start to stutter a little bit, and that's where I would start yelling at my controller. But overall I feel like it's pretty smooth. However, it's smooth to a sense that it's a very small map. So is it smooth because it's small, or is it smooth because it's a next-gen console? I can't really say for sure.
And visuals, texture, like, do walls look good, buildings? Those I haven't really paid attention to when you've been playing it.
They look the same as Arceus to me.
Nah, so not a huge, but an improvement, but not a massive.
Well, I don't really feel like Pokemon will ever look like the walls and stuff are never going to look realistic or like amazing in the water and stuff, because it is based off Pokemon. It is supposed to look very cartoony and chibi, like chubby Pokemon and things like that. So I feel like the colors and stuff, it's always going to look like that. I don't think it's ever going to look realistic. In terms of like what it looked like based off that, I liked it. There's a lot of little details in areas and stuff, but I mean, it's Pokemon. That's just how it is.
Yeah. What about the story? Story sometimes can be very impactful and sometimes not in these games.
I am never one for Pokemon story. I feel like it's very the same. It's very Kingdom Hearts in a sense, where it's very like
dare.
I'm obsessed with.
Well, okay, wait, but
Kingdom
Hearts has a lot of depth to
Kingdom Hearts is a lot of like, there's a lot of puzzles, and I don't really know if I know the story when I think I know the story. Pokemon, you know the story, but in terms of like Kingdom Hearts related, I mean, it's very cheesy. It's like friendship, and you gotta save the city with your friends, and things like that. So the stories have always been cheesy, and it's the same story as before, honestly. So I feel like there's nothing new in terms of the stories. It's always someone's the villain. It's very the same type of story. There's not really depth. Although this time it's brought back people from the past game of Arceus, so I guess that's part of a little bit of depth. And that's kind of it. I will say one thing. There is a part where you go to these restaurants and you do these battles where you have to do 5 courses. And during those 5 courses, you can't go into your bag at all. So if your Pokemon's knocked out, or you get poisoned, or something happens to your Pokemon, paralyzed, etc., you can't go in your bag and get it. So that's a really good area for training your Pokemon, because they get healed at the very end, and so everyone gets all the points and everything, unless they get knocked out during the battles. But it's tough. It's very tough. So if you go into those, make sure you bring your best Pokemon, and the Pokemon you want to level up, don't throw out at all, because once they're down or poisoned or something, those status continue throughout the entire time. And it's 5 course, and by 5 course, I mean 1 person per course, and then they have like 3 Pokemon each time. So it's you have to battle 3 Pokemon 5 different times, no potions, no nothing. That's it. So those ones are really tough.
Are those like side activities?
Yeah, those are side missions that you can do. It's not part of the main story. Actually, I feel like those were my favorite because those were the most challenging.
Yeah.
So definitely that's a new element. I don't remember if Arceus had anything similar. I don't believe so. It was mostly the gym battles where you had to go through the different gym people. One thing they do differently is there's no gym battles. You're going from the letters Z to A. And then in terms of how you get there, you don't do where you battle different people inside a gym. Instead, you go to these different areas and just creep up and battle random people that are kind of standing around also trying to level up. And either sneak up on them, or you can just attack them, or just run up to them and then they'll attack you, either way. But you have to go into these battle zones, basically, where you have to fight all these different people, and then you have to get a certain amount of points. So it's like, it starts small, it's like 5,000, 10,000, and then eventually you get up to like, you have to get 40,000 points. So that's kind of where you're battling the different people before you get to the gym leader. So that's a different way of doing it. I kind of like that way, actually, because you can kind of creep up and see what the Pokemon, the person who you're going to battle, has out. So you can kind of adjust your team accordingly to what that battle is going to be like and what weakness you might have for Pokemon and things like that. So that part's a lot of fun. It's very different from previous games for that much.
Well, and then final thoughts. Would you recommend it? Would you recommend it on Switch 2? Would you recommend it like based off past Pokemon games?
I would recommend this game based off. I had a lot of fun playing it.
You're not done.
I don't think necessarily it has to be for the Switch 2. I don't know. I didn't play it on the Switch 1, so can't say for certain, but I feel like it would run the same, to be honest. I definitely think it's a lot of fun. It brought a lot of older Pokemon with mixed of newer Pokemon, so that's a lot of fun. I got to raise Charmander to a Charizard, but also there's Klefki in it, for example. So there's a lot of newer generation Pokemon, which is a lot of fun. But yeah, I think it's a good time. I think if you want to wait till it goes on sale, that's fine.
Nintendo games rarely.
Not that they ever do, but if you want to hold off and save up for it, I don't think it's a game that I would rush to like play right away, but I think it's a lot of fun when you do play it.
Well, let us know what you guys think. Let us know if you like this style. I actually do think the style was better with a question kind of based thing. But let us know what you think. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and we'll see you all on the next one.